we changed our business model,
Yeah.
which we were in the process of doing in Florida. And I was getting more profitable in Florida, but I took what we were doing in Florida and just maximized it and I just poured gasoline on it. And so the model, and so we're able to control our costs better here, which works out better for everyone. I don't have employees, I have subcontractors. And so that just enables me to control my costs. It also allows the subcontractors to make more money because again, if you're making it by the hour, it doesn't matter if you paint 2 houses or 1 house, you're making the same amount of money. But if you're getting paid by production, it's like someone working in sales. Salespeople are motivated because they want to make more money. They're commission based. And that's basically the model. But yeah, so it's a little bit of both. So business model, a big part in having a larger population to work with. We do a lot in Boulder County. We do a lot in Denver as well. We also do Colorado Springs and Fort Collins.
Front Range.
The whole Front Range, but it's also just a more affluent area. People, the average income's higher. And so people just have more money to spend.
So I'm just imagining, say like you right now, your family moved back to Florida, find a major metro area with your current experience, expertise and understanding of the market, what your management, right? Would you expect like a stable business in a major metro area in Florida and still, grow steadily?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. I feel like I could, would the numbers match up exactly? Maybe not. You just have to also find what works in that market.
Yeah.
The big factor, I think, is the marketing because you have to generate the flow of work. And so if you're able to kind of crack, that nut, then you would have more opportunity. But I feel confident that we could do it. And actually, one of my personal kind of passion projects is to help people do that. I'm always trying to talk to individuals. I was just having a conversation last night and, they were kind of looking for a new job and kind of looking at different options. Man, start a service business. If you do plumbing or electrical, it's a little harder because you got to have special licenses. But do landscaping, painting, roofing, all these businesses. It's amazing how many people just say, thank you for coming to give me an estimate. I'm like, of course, I want to take your money. I'm happy to come, And so, it's not hard to be head and shoulders above everyone else. If you just have some integrity and you just do what you say you're going to do.
Even for handyman business, they don't require any, license. I needed some handyman to dig some, 20 holes to build a playhouse. My house, we'll pay $3,000 or $3,000 to $4,000 for just 2 or 3 days work. It's hard to find handyman to work on it. And I finally got, booked for another 2 weeks.
We typically are 4 to 6 weeks out, and our calendar just stays full. It's not hard to be successful. You just have to be willing to do the work.
So your revenue, share with us a little bit, the revenue increase for the last several years.
Yeah. So my first full year in Colorado, we were just under $1 million in revenue. And we've basically grown 20 to 30% every year, with the exception of 1 year. My oldest brother passed away unexpectedly. And so because of that, we just kind of pumped the brakes, and my mom was living with us and we just kind of wanted to take some time that year. But outside of that 1 year, we've had great growth. Like I said, we're probably end up under $3 million this year. Probably around 2.8 if I had to guess. We still got a couple months left, so we'll see where that lands. But it's and we could do more if we wanted to. And again, that comes to like, what do you want out of your business? And what's your why? What's the purpose in doing what you're doing? And so me and my wife have had some conversations about it. Initially, I was very bullish. I was like, no, we're growing, we're going big, And here in the past couple months, we've actually decided that that $3 million is kind of a nice sweet spot. It's manageable. We're able to take a lot of time off in the winter. I'm going back to Florida for a month, in November. Ski a lot when it snows. And so we have a lot of flexibility. And so we've just decided that works for us for right now. And so, but the possibilities are really endless in a big market like this.
Yeah. So, going back a little bit about what you talk about, working with, you working on a business, working with employees versus contractors. It just, I feel like my feeling is sometimes, they have different mindsets, right? They come into work and I just want to get the work done and get paid by that. So do you feel like easier, or you if you prefer to work with contractors?
Percent. Yeah. I mean, they both have challenges, but they're both going to have challenges. So I'd much rather work with the one that's going to be more profitable. And so, the challenges with a contractor is they want to get done quickly because they get paid by the job. So they want to get that job done. They want to get to the next job. So you have to put systems in place to hold them accountable, and so that you have a good reputation and they have a good reputation. And so there's some challenges there, but you can work with it. But there's lots of challenges with employees too. And so I'd rather be making money in dealing with challenges rather than not making money in dealing with challenges.
Yeah.
And so, in every business will be a little bit different, but you have to incentivize the right thing. And so one thing that I'm big on is loyalty. And so I want my guys to feel like I am there for them. If there's an issue, and we've had that, like recently there was an individual that's works with us that, they had a family emergency and needed some money, several $1,000s. And I was like, man, yeah, let me help you. He's been working with me for years. It would be like you calling me and like, hey man, I need help. I'd be like, absolutely. What can I do? And so we have a good working relationship. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're business friends. We're business acquaintance. We have a business relationship. We work together. I keep them busy and they make sure that we do good work so that my focus can be on the important things. So I can go out, generate the business to keep them busy. And they love it, because now they don't have to go out and try to do the marketing because they're excellent craftsmen and they can focus on what they're excellent at. The reality is I haven't painted much in 5, 6, 7 years. You probably don't want me painting. Once upon a time, I did all the painting, but now you want my guys painting and you want me out doing the marketing because I can do the marketing, I can do the sales, and my guys are the experts on the painting now.
Yeah.
And so everyone just kind of needs to do what they're great at. And that's what I try to lean into.
Yeah. I think you shared that part in one of your videos as well.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you're sharing in your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I love it. My son, I have to really give him props for that. He helps me a lot with the scripts, refining it. And, we're trying to get those down to where they're really helpful and concise in the sense that, like, let's not take 20 minutes to say what we can say in 5 minutes. Let's be precise and say what needs to be said.
Yeah.
But let's give valuable information because everyone's busy and we just want to get to the point. And he's great at that. But I like to talk. So sometimes I ramble on a little bit.
Yeah, he's on my list to interview.
Yeah, he'll be here in about a month.
So what's your goal for your painting business for long term?
Really, like I said, we recently changed that. And so our current kind of understanding and kind of goal is just to kind of keep it around $3 million a year in revenue. I love our team. I love our subs and all that. So that all seems manageable. My ultimate goal now, since I'm not going to be trying to grow the business, is my focus is shifting a little bit to, all right, how do I take the resources that we're making and grow those? How do we build real wealth with the resources that we have? So, this past month, I've had several conversations with some financial planners and different things like that, and like, tax strategies. And so we're just looking at all those different possibilities. And some of that's still kind of a question mark of what we're going to do with some of that extra time.
Yeah.
And, maybe we just pause for a year. Maybe we just kind of enjoy kind of where we are. It's still a lot of work. It's, so like this will be the first slow season. So our business is really busy from April to November. And so after November, it slows down a lot. So there's 3 or 4 months where it's a lot slower. And in the past, I'm constantly like, working on new systems. How can we grow? How can we do this? This will be the first year that I can be like, man, I don't really have to like stress about it. I can just, take a deep breath, relax a little bit. I'm going to ski a little bit more and that kind of stuff, and just try to enjoy these last few years of my daughter being in high school. We ski together, we camp together. So yeah. So the answer is I'm not sure, but I'm still going to do something. I mean, I want to build wealth. I want to do fun things, and maybe it'll take more of a teaching role in helping people, educating people, maybe through like an official like e-course, or maybe it's just, through conversations like this and in the community that we have and encouraging people and just focusing more on like one-on-one kind of mentorship and helping people. And like I said, I know I'm not the most successful, but I have some success. I want to be able to give what I can to the people around me and help them the most I can. So yeah, we're still figuring that out a little bit.
Yeah. I could tell that, by my observation as well in the past years, when you could, as, your business need to grow, and then you work so hard and then intensively to grow your business, right?
Yeah.
And now it's the time that maybe pause it for a year, right? Enjoy it, relax a little bit for a year, and then kind of like recharge, and then think more for long-term plans. Take a year, right?
Exactly. I am not trying to build $1 billion thing. There's some people that I love to follow and I listen to it, and they're trying to build $1 billion thing. I have no desire for that. I want to wake up and do stuff that I'm passionate about, in the sense that things that I enjoy. And, I've worked really hard on things that maybe, I don't necessarily just love painting. I'm not an artist in that sense. I'm not doing portraits, but I do enjoy helping people. And so, what I try to do is reframe it. I'm not just painting your home. I'm helping bring enjoyment to you.
Mm-hmm.
When I meet with a homeowner, typically, a husband a lot of times is like, I just want to like protect the investment. The wife is, I want a beautiful color. I want it to feel nice. There's a different reason, a different why that person has. And so when I'm able to, do work with an individual, husband or wife, and when I'm done, they're like, thank you so much. It's beautiful. It just feels like a new home. And that's awesome. I love that. And so it has more to do with the person, the personal interaction. And so I just want to do things that are meaningful. And I know that's somewhat generic, but I just want to be excited. And I love people. I love talking with people. I love interacting with people. And so, yeah, I'm just going to look for opportunities to use what I've become good at. It wasn't necessarily, it wasn't always my passion, but I've become great at it because I've been doing it 20 years.
Yeah.
So now I can take what has become my passion. Like I was saying earlier, music was probably my passion, and I pursued business, and I've become excellent at business at some level. And so now I can take those skills and help other people. And that gives me a lot of fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you tell yourself, like say 20 years ago?
Man. Yeah.
Business wise, I'm saying.
Business wise, it's hard. These types of questions, I ask these questions too. It's always a little hard because it's like, if I would have changed certain things, what would be different today?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the whole time travel thing. It's like, if you go back in time, like, like, what are you going to mess up in the process? I would say, don't be afraid of what other people think. I think would be the biggest thing. Yeah. Being dyslexic and having some insecurities around that. I mean, a lot of people may look at me and be like, I wouldn't think you're, I've struggled with so much insecurity. I would even say now still. And so it's an active thing that I'm always kind of trying to overcome. And sometimes you overcompensate and you're like, I don't care what anyone thinks. And then you're just like, turn into that guy. And so I would say just, be confident and be comfortable in who you are. God's given you a certain, skill set, but then you also are a hard worker and you're willing to do what's required. People don't always like that. It's like, this wasn't right. And I was like, well, you just have to do better. Alex Ramosi, another guy that me and my son follow a lot. It's, you don't necessarily, it's like, you can't just say, well, I worked a lot of hours. It's like, well, maybe you got to work more hours. It's not necessarily what you've done, it's what's required. And you just have to do what's required.